know, as odd as it sounds, I almost think Nelgen is the initiator. But, see, that one makes sense, because once again, harpooning a dude to the wall. Oh, if we're wrong, we're all going to hell. You're coming with me. Nelgen is the initiator. Let's go with it. Confirm your moral choice. I mean, this just kills you, right? Just, once again, are you sure? Are you sure? Okay, here we go.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
There are two culprits, Inspector, Nelligan and Hurtley.
What? Well, I would never have guessed, Mr. Holmes. They are a rotten pair, though.
It was a combination of two motives, culminating in one crime.
What were their motives?
The first was revenge. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
And the second?
The second was a crime of passion. Liam Hurtley was in love with Black Peter's wife, and this caused a conflict between him and Carrie.
Well, well, well. Makes sense, Mr. Holmes.
I suggest that you organize a small confrontation between the two, just to confirm my accusation.
That's a good idea, Mr. Holmes. I'll talk to these fellows.
So is this
Join
where
me
we
in the
find out if
interrogation
I'm wrong or not? Will it railroad into them not actually, like, if one is innocent? Like, can I actually be wrong, or
Gentlemen,
will
we
these
know
guys be
everything
screwed?
about your association to kill Black Peter. Admit that you planned it together.
Our association? I don't even know this man.
Uh-oh.
You needed to kill Peter Carey. There had to be two of you there.
Ridiculous. I'm innocent.
All that remains is to determine the level of guilt. Which one of you is the initiator in this case?
But I just told you I've never seen this man before.
It's him. He's the culprit. He was forcing me. He threatened me. He's the mastermind behind it all.
Shut up. You're a lunatic.
Well, it all seems very clear, don't you think, Mr. Holmes?
Inspector, I believe that Nelligan is the true culprit. Hurtley was his accomplice, blinded by his love for Peter's wife.
You've got it wrong. It isn't true.
That's right. I confess.
Well, young man, it turns out you are the gang leader. I don't fancy your chances now.
The case is resolved, Inspector.
Did I fuck up,
I
guys?
shall return to Baker Street.
I mean, he didn't...
Very well, Mr. Holmes.
He wasn't like... and, like, twirling his non-mustache. The murder was planned by two men, John and Liam Hurtley. While one wished to retrieve his father's bond certificates, the other was glad to assist as it would free the woman he loved. Twist determined Nelligan is the initiator of the crime. Now they both face justice. Clues found 16, two murderers. Hold to check your conclusion. May spoil game experience. Choose another ending. Accept decision. Wow, so they even go, like, they show you all of that, and they even get down to this point, you still go, are you sure? So, should I stick to it? Okay. I wonder, though, if I'm going to have to, like, put all the pieces back together with the conclusions again and whatnot. Let's find out. Wow. This game, I swear to God, it double checks, triple checks, quadruple checks. The game will load before the moral choice was made. Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with you, Altered Thought. It did not seem like it was the boy. He never once broke and said, I did it, I did it, I did it. I wonder if it was the harpoon guy and Hurtley working together. Because like I said, Hurtley, he was all ready to go along with it in this version. So I wonder if there is a forming of the clues that results Because do remember, we have all the clues. There's no more new clues to find. So it's just us putting the clues together that's going to determine how this all plays out. So let's say Pouch proves guilt for the sailor. That's then going to create Hurley's innocence. Presence of Woodlands the night of the murder is explained by his affection towards Judith and the fact that he worked there as a gardener. Wait, so I'm convinced that Hurley had a motive, okay? But Nelgun's innocent. That creates a problem there. Nelgun was looking for his father's papers inside Blackbeard's cabin and explains his presence at the scene of the murder. Okay, so that makes everything good on this side. Hurley's presence at the Woodman's Lee on the night of the murder is explained by the affections towards Judith and his fact that he worked there as a gardener. So wait a second, if we put... That's what I'm thinking, it's Hurley and the harpooner. But if I put this... Pouch proves guilt... Feat of strength is still fine. So pretty much, if I put it Hurley's innocence and harmless flirting. Oh boy. So it doesn't seem like it's giving me the possibility to have Hurley and Carnes together, the harpooner. Like, because I was trying to put right here, Hurley was in on it, he was guilty, and these two weren't linking up. Well, do we just want to say Carnes is guilty and see what his response is? Patrick Carnes is a cold-blooded murderer. He has been found guilty of the murder of Peter Carey and must be punished. Patrick Carnes killed Peter Carey, but the murder was not premeditated. It was a self-defense against an armed and irrational drummer. Ooh. So that makes it interesting because Carnes never... But if it was just something that just popped up out of nowhere... Why wouldn't he just run to the police? That does not make any sense. Why wouldn't he just go to the police and go, this is what happened, it was self-defense, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because his tobacco pouch was found inside Carey's cabin. So do we want to condemn Carnes or absolve Carnes? Yeah, the other guy did say he was involved in that other time. But as you can see, Hartley's innocence, Hartley motive. Relationship with Judith Carey gives him a motive for killing Peter. If I choose that, Carnes has confirmed that his pouch belongs to him. This means that he was at the scene of the murder, but does not necessarily prove that he is the murderer. Harmless flirting, so desperate jealousy. So I put that there. This is in that's congruent. Pouch proves visit. What's going to connect here? See, nothing, unfortunately, is connecting here. So this is what we're going to try. Hurley's innocence. Harmless flirting. Carnes is guilty. This sounds weird, but you know what? I don't think he went in there to kill the guy. I guess... I mean, all points to that's him with the harpoon and how strong he is, and in order to get it in there. But I don't think he went in there. It didn't sound like he had a reason to go there and to actually kill our victim, Peter. So I'm going to say absolve Carnes, that he did it. Maybe he just didn't want to come forward. Let's try that. Yep, moral choice. Of course, the other option is that it was just, you know, the boy and this guy are both red herrings, and the guy that was in love with his wife is just the only murderer, is the only guy. So let's see how this plays out, where we're saying, you know, he didn't go in there to murder the guy, like, just right off the bat, that it was just kind of like in the moment, you know, Peter, he got drunk, he got mean, and it just happened. So let's see how this plays out. If not,
Afternoon. I must be at the
I'm
wrong
pretty
address.
sure then it might be just the guy
ship's
by himself.
Captain, Captain Ahab. Is that you?
No, my name is Sherlock Holmes.
That detective
God, this
fella?
game really makes you think
So,
about all this stuff.
You wanted to see me?
That is correct. We need to talk.
About what?
About Black Peter, who was killed in his own hut with a harpoon.
You know, don't you?
Yes,
How?
the tobacco pouch. You recognized it.
The sailor. It was you.
Of course,
Unbelievable.
I didn't look any different.
Well, fine. I confess. But if you really do know everything, you should also know that I didn't want to kill him. He made me do it.
I know. Did you
What?
know about this story with the bond certificates? Did you need money?
Yeah. I just wanted him to cough up a little silver. I'm out
Wow.
of work, and I thought maybe he could help me. Well, he refused outright, and he insulted me. I reminded him I knew all about that murder he committed at sea in 1883. Then he got mad when I spoke about his treasure. I barely just had time to throw the harpoon at him before he could jump at me with his knife. You know the truth. What will you do now?
I
I
ask
feel a
that
lot
you
better about
return the
this.
bond certificates. Keep some of them. You will need them in your exile. It is better that you leave the country for a few years.
And you won't say
Wow.
anything to the police?
I will not say anything as long as you return the money.
Well, I'll do as you ask. But what about Inspector Lestrade?
I will deal with him. Goodbye.
Well, guys, there you have it. That is a lot better. I feel
It's good
much,
that you
much
asked me
better
to
about
come,
this,
Mr.
and
Holmes.
everything
We
seemed
do
to
need to
sync up.
talk.
About what?
What do you mean? Our case, Mr. Holmes. You sent me a message via your little thug,
His name is Wiggins, Inspector.
telling me that the case is solved. Well, Mr. Holmes, tell me, who is our murderer and where is he?
The morgue.
Eh?
His name is, or rather was, Pablo Coventral. He was also on the ship with Peter Carey, and he was a harpooner. I'll tell you everything, Inspector, but do calm down. Mrs. Hudson will bring us tea and orange cake.
Oh,
Orange
yeah.
cake? You're spoiling me, Mr. Holmes. That's my favourite.
Orange cake? I don't think I've ever had that before.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Inspector Lestrade told me that I should thank you for clearing my name. He also said that you
Yeah.
were waiting for me here. I came as fast as I could. I cannot thank you enough. It is all because of you that this nightmare is finally over.
I believe that this belongs to you.
Yeah, you guys were right. I'm glad we
Father's
redid that.
securities. Incredible. But how did you get them?
And also, it makes a
would
much
take
nice,
far too
happier
long
ending
to
for this
explain.
guy.
Tell me. This is extraordinary. You are a genius.
Inspector, I believe that Nelligan is the true culprit.
Genius.
Then
Well,
that may
on our
serve
second
as an
try we are.
explanation. Goodbye, Mr. Nelligan, and good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Holmes. And thank you. 1,000 times thank you.
Oh, it's like a lemon cake? Oh, okay. Well, there you have it. So I feel absolutely perfect about that one. The boy beforehand, when we tried to, and I also, you know what, I have to also say, stepping back, I do like how the developer made it so you come to all these conclusions and you go with it and you can see the cutscene. And I mean, it's definitely not as hard edged as, you know, other kind of games where, like, whatever choice you make, I'm sorry, you're stuck with that, and, you know, it does create a different experience. But I do like this, because then it gives you a chance to, like, you can see it a bit more, see more behind the curtain, and, yeah, the voice acting is good for a change. I do wish there was more facial animation. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, they don't have very much squash and stretch in their face, like, you know, and, you know, feeling sad, you know. Anyway, but I do like this. I do like this game mechanic where we can go back and we can look at things and mull it over. This is awesome. I'm loving this. Let's hold to check your conclusions. I think we're pretty comfortable with what we just chose. But let me. I want to see. I'm curious. Okay, so that's what would happen. That's cool. I like that. So you just hold it and it'll tell you, like, who is actually guilty or what's going on, how many clues you can find. So at least none of it was on our second try, but hey, you know, we still got it right. So Carnes was guilty. We got all 16 clues that we could find. That's perfect. I like it. I'm going to accept this decision. I think this is perfect. Warning, you're about to finish the case. Save files for this case will be removed. Press New if you would like to select another. Nope. I am happy with that one. Personality ranking, sympathizing. I wonder.
At the station, please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase. But, Holmes, the headlight. It's faded away.